Cal here today with the 2026 Chevy Silverado LT double cab with the 2.7 liter turbo. And 5 years ago, I had this exact same truck. All the same options. It was a double cab. It was the 6.5 foot box. It was the 4-cylinder under the hood. And it had the cloth seats and the heated steering wheel and the heated seats inside, just like this one has, except that one before destination and options stickered for $42,900. This one that you guys see here today stickers for $50,000, and it is the exact same truck. So over the course of 5 years from when I bought mine new in 2021 to today, it has gained $7,100 worth of price. So today you and I are going to look through this truck. We're going to see if it has $7,100 more value in this truck. And at the end, I'm going to tell you guys if this 2026 is worth upgrading to or if you should save your money. Talking about the first difference on this 2026 compared to my 2021 model is the 2.7 liter turbo under the hood. Back in 2021 when I bought mine, that truck was rated for 310 horsepower and 348 pound-foot of torque. This truck today puts out 310 horsepower but 430 pound-foot of torque. Now they did that upgrade halfway through 2022, so it was unfortunate that they did that power upgrade literally 1 year right after I bought mine in 2021, but my truck did still do pretty well when I was towing my camper. My camper all loaded up was probably only like 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. So I was well under the 9,100 pound towing capacity on my 2021 double cab. But when you put your foot down in that truck, it did get up and go. Even with the camper behind it, like it had no hesitation. I was very impressed. I did expect it to be a little lacking in power when I bought it, but after I towed the camper, I realized this truck can handle towing. So if you guys do have a boat or a camper that you do want to tow with the 2.7 turbo, I would not hesitate to pick this truck up. I think it's a great option. I would buy another one myself. Also, a quick thing I wanted to note is I was just looking at the window sticker of my 2.7 turbo, and I did notice that my engine was produced in the United States on my window sticker, whereas you look at the window sticker on the 2026 here, Silverado 1500 with the TURBOMAX, you go down here, it was also Roanoke, Indiana there, and that my engine was United States, my transmission was United States here. You can see the engine was switched to Mexico production, so I'm guessing they did that with the power upgrade that they did in 2022. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing that's what happened, but I did think that was interesting and I wanted to note it for you guys. Taking a look at the differences on the outside compared to my 2021 model on this 2026, you guys will see that this is the same refresh that you guys saw halfway through 2022. So in 2021 on mine, it had 3 different bays of LED headlights, whereas you see it just has 2 bays right here, and then the third one is missing, and they have the main headlight bulb and then the turn signal. This is way cooler than the 2021 model in my opinion. When this body style, this refresh first came out, I was a little skeptical. I thought they kind of ruined the front end, and then it sort of grew on me over time, and I really dig this new turn signal because it is so bright and crazy looking. So that is really cool. They added a larger vent down here. They kind of brought it further out into the front end towards the grill. The grill got a different look with those little curves and things like that, whereas it used to just sort of be like straight across with some black plastic in the middle on my LT model. And then down here, that bumper also sees a little bit of a change, whereas mine had more chrome down at the bottom there. So pretty much the same front end, just some cosmetic updates. The hood now has that TURBOMAX badge, and just like my 2021, these 2026 mirrors do not have blind zone alert on these. It just has the safety stuff inside, like that forward collision alert and stuff like that. On my 2021, I was also missing passive entry on the rear door handle. It's only on the front. 20-inch aluminum wheels with Grazen painted pockets, $800. Go ahead and take a little bit of a closer look at that for you guys. I do see where it is painted there, and then on the outside they have sort of that polished finish. Very nice looking wheels. Mine did just have the 17-inch wheels, so I did not have the upgraded wheels like that has. And then back here you get your 6.5 foot bed just like mine had. If you guys take a peek inside, this one doesn't have a drop-in plastic bed liner like mine had, but it is the same bed. I did not have the plug, so that is pretty cool. It doesn't look like the plug is an option, so believe it or not, I think that plug is now standard, which is sweet. We go ahead and pop the tailgate open. It has all these same tie downs, the 12 tie downs that mine had. My favorite bed that I've had so far was in the Chevys. Now that I have a Ram, I do miss this Chevy bed a little bit. I miss how wide that floor was in there. It really did feel like a bigger bed when you were inside. So got that right there. That's awesome that that is standard now. I did not have that. I really would have enjoyed having that. The tailgate feels just as light as it always did. Now, as for towing capacity, it is rated for for only 9,000 pounds, which I thought was interesting because my 2021 with less torque was rated at 9,100 pounds. You guys will see this one here says conventional trailer, 9,000 pounds. My sticker on my truck did say 9,100 pounds. I guess that just means that with that refresh, when they updated the power on the 4-cylinder, they didn't make any suspension or obviously frame upgrades. They just upgraded the power on the engine, and that was basically it. So the towing capacity is 100 pounds less than my 2021 model was. And checking out the back seat space of this double cab, we'll go ahead and take a look in the fuel door before we do, and you guys will see that the 2026 2.7 liter turbo does still run on 87, just like my 2021 model did. Now we'll sit behind myself. I have the front seat in the same position it was when I was just driving earlier, and you guys can see me at 6'2". There's not much legroom back here like most double cabs are, and down here, this was one thing I was a little jealous to see because in my 2021 model, I did not have the standard household power outlet in the LT, so that is pretty cool to see. And on the seat fabric, I did see is the same material, the same seats basically. So if you guys see how the hash pattern on the 2021 models, maybe they're on your own Silverado at home, this is the same in this truck here in the 26 model. So it is a pretty decently comfortable interior. I do remember about 2.5–3 hours in, my lower back would start getting a little sore even with the lumbar in this driver's seat. So I do wish there was a little bit better support there. But other than that, for short drives, this is a pretty comfortable interior, and with the double cab, when you fold those seats up, it is a pretty big back seat back here. We'll do a quick front seat space test for my taller viewers, and you guys will see that me at 6'2", I have plenty of leg space in the front seat of the Silverado. This truck has a class-leading 44.5 inches of front seat legroom. It is amazing how far back this front seat goes. So if you guys are somebody who is taller and you guys need space, the Silverado has always been one of my favorite trucks for that in the half-ton space, because to have my legs out straight like this in the front seat is just crazy. Now, climbing into the interior, one thing I've noticed is that the water bottle, my 26-ounce Yeti water bottle, this is the tumbler. It's a pretty big base on this thing. And in my 2021 Silverado, this did fit in the center door pocket. However, in this updated refresh, the 2022 and beyond model, I was trying to like bring it from the back angle and kind of avoid this corner here, and that wasn't working either. So now I have nowhere to put this thing. So my 2021, I do reckon, was better for that matter alone, because the center cup holders don't hold anything other than like a coffee. So I accepted that in my 2021 Silverado and would just toss it in the door pocket. I said, all right, no big deal. But now they changed that design, so now it doesn't even fit anymore. Compared to my 2021, the steering wheel looks to be the same. It has that nice leather wrap. It has the heated steering wheel option. I love that, having the button right on the wheel. Do see the gap adjust right there if you want to play with that. The 12.3-inch display for the gauge cluster is different compared to my 2021. On mine, I did just have a small screen in the middle that did do a digital display of my speed, just like you see here. However, the gauges, as far as the speedometer and the tach, that is all new. And then when you do change your drive modes, it gives you a little picture of your truck on this generation. Look at this, it's on a racetrack. It's got the little finish line and the chicane there, like it's on a racetrack. I do kind of enjoy that. And coming over to the radio display here, the 13.4-inch radio display, I kind of enjoy the simplicity of my smaller 8-inch display, because it didn't have this Google service stuff on here that, like, I'm never going to pay for that, but even if I don't pay for it, I still have to stare at these emblems on my radio all the time. And then it's always asking you over here, hey, do you want to pay for stuff? Do you want to open your Google Maps? I feel like that's just going to be a perpetual annoying thing that I would have to deal with if I bought this truck again. Other than that, it does look cooler and more high tech. You know, it's got this. It is still easy to use. It doesn't seem terribly laggy with my use of it so far. It seems like it responds pretty quick, but the old system, I have to admit, guys, was faster. So if you do like speed on your radio and that quick workingness, if that's even a word, I don't think it is, that does go to the 2021. That radio was way faster. This one is a little laggy. It is a little more high tech. It does look cooler. It has a better looking display. It's kind of like a TV in your dashboard, basically. The graphics are sweet, but you do pay for it with that slower, kind of laggier, buggier operation. Down here, it does have have the same set of switches that mine did. It's just in a slightly different location. I like that they give you a physical home button and a physical volume button, and then down here the climate control is dual zone, just like my LT in 21 was. Heated seats are down here. My truck did have the trailer brake controller and the push button start, and then this does have a very nice wood trim. Those are all the updates I've noticed compared to my 21. You do still have the double glove box set up. We'll go ahead and open that under storage up and check out that size, and it does fit the Yeti water bottle. That's a big understorage there. And yes, it does still lock just like it did back in the day. So that is cool. Got yourself some safe deposit storage in your Silverado, and then the center storage here is the same as well. So overall on the interior, I do like the look of the 12.3 and 13.4 inch displays, but I do kind of miss having my physical gauges for the speedometer and the tachometer, and then also the radio that did operate quicker in my 21, and I did have room for the Yeti water bottle in my 2021. So a couple things that I want to see changed here. Obviously the screens are going to stay, but if we can get some different door pockets and fit some bigger water bottles in there again, that would be awesome. All right guys, here we are in the 2.7 Silverado getting out onto the highway. We're gonna see if I notice this more torque. Wow, it's either the fact that this truck is new and everything's a little tighter than my old truck was, because I think that truck was up to like 60,000 miles by the time I sold it, or it's the fact that this extra torque can really be felt. Oh wow, this you can feel that extra torque. I thought it was all like a marketing ploy when I first saw it. I was like, yeah, you're not going to really notice it. It's not a big deal. It's the same engine. You really notice that extra torque. And if I had to go back to a half-ton truck again, I would buy the 2.7. Again, I would not go for the 5.3, because I just feel like when I'm behind the wheel of the 5.3, yes, it is a tried and true engine and it's a V8. Who doesn't love the sound of a V8? But the handling of the truck and the performance of the engine, it all feels very tired. Whereas when I'm in this, it feels sprightly. It feels light on its feet. It feels fun to drive. And then it also has a towing capacity that is about 9,000 pounds. So you're telling me I can, Monday through Friday on my way to work, have fun driving my truck, and then on the weekends, hook up the camper and tow it like it's no big deal? That to me sounds like fun. Whereas, like I said, the 5.3, I still think it's a good engine. I would buy one if I was getting like a Tahoe or something. I don't really have anything against it aside from some of the lifter issues that some people have been referencing over the years. But no engine is without its flaws. I'm sure the 2.7, if you start looking at the forums, you'll see issues with this engine. At 32,000 miles on my own 2.7, I had to have a throttle body replaced, which was ludicrous. I don't even know, how do you need a throttle body replaced at 32,000 miles? That was crazy. Lucky it was under warranty. So compared to my 2021, this truck is super fun to drive. It's even more fun to drive than my 2021 was. I would have already purchased that truck a second time, but this takes it up to another level, and I would absolutely purchase this truck again. All right, guys, now it's time to round out my thoughts on the 2026 2.7 Turbo Double Cab LT. Do I think it is worth $7,100 more than my 2021 model? And my answer is, I want to say yes so bad, but the answer is no. That to me is a huge price delta, but we do have to remember everything has gone up in price. And I do think, in my opinion, the brand that's gone the craziest with it is Ford. Like, I walked down to the Ford lot and I saw some of the F-150 STX models, and they are crazy priced, like somewhere in the 50s. Whereas when you come on the Chevy lot, I do got to say, even though these prices have climbed quite a bit compared to what I paid in 2021, which, by the way, is it crazy to anyone else how 2021 was 5 years ago? It does not seem like 5 years ago yet. This truck here is still a good value compared to other half-ton trucks on the market. So in my opinion, I think this truck is still worth its money in today's current market, but compared to what I paid, it is a little sad that I'm like, wow, $7,100 more for the same exact truck. The only thing this truck has that my truck didn't have was the nicer displays inside. It has the forward collision alert, stuff like that. It doesn't even have blind zone alert on this truck, and it is $7,100 more. And also, it tows 100 pounds less as far as the towing capacity goes. Ram does have some good deals on half tons. I would say Ram and Chevy are about neck and neck in deals. Depending on what trims you're looking at, that's a huge factor on what prices you guys are going to get. So in whole, is the Silverado my favorite choice in the half ton market still? And my answer is 100% yes, and I would totally buy the 2.7 Turbo over the 5.3 again if I was going back to a half ton. ton. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Before I do let you go, I did want to give a quick shout out to my friends at Bob Johnson Chevrolet for letting me use this Silverado to review for you guys today. I'll have all their info in the description down below if you want to check out their Silverado inventory. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next new car review.